You're listening to the AZREIA Show. If you're looking for quality real estate investing information that you can trust, you've found it. Stay tuned and join the tens of thousands of members that have already benefited from AZREIA, your home for education, market information, support, and networking opportunities that will advance your real estate investing career.
Welcome, everybody, to today's episode of the AZREIA Show. I'm Mike Del Prete, Executive Director of the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association, and today we're diving into some powerful trends driving Arizona's real estate market forward. At the heart of it all is what we call the path of progress. I love this topic. So the path of progress, we're going to be able to show you areas that are experiencing growth in population, job creation, and much more. So investors understanding this path isn't just beneficial, it's essential for making smart, profitable decisions. So today, we're going to cover three major insights that connect to this path of progress, and we'll show you how these trends can reveal where the opportunities lie here in our state. And for AZREIA members, we'll highlight some unique resources that we have to offer that can help you make some of these decisions and recognize some of these insights. So you might be saying, great, what's the path of progress, Mike? Never heard of it before. So let me define that. In Arizona, the path of progress is being shaped by migration trends, strategic job growth, and specific developments like the TSMC Semiconductor Plant, right up in Northwest Valley. These factors are transforming certain areas into hotspots for real estate where demand for housing and services is expected to surge. This is key for us as local real estate investors, recognizing where progress is happening and aligning our real estate strategies with that progress. So what I want you to do is, as we go through this podcast, I want you to think about how you can use this in your business today or going forward. So, for example, there's tools that we have as real estate investors, right? We're not one-trick ponies. We don't just write cash offers, although we love them. However, we have tools in our toolbox to use. The option contract. We have the contract for deed, subject to existing mortgage, seller carryback. That's just to name a few. And I want you to think about some of the differences. So Rockefeller said, control everything, own nothing, right? And you could do that with an option contract and contract for deed, for example. What specifically about these is what I want you to understand is the use rights, right? These two tools, you cannot use the property, right? However, you can control it. So an option contract basically says seller must sell, buyer doesn't have to buy. So you can get a price today, whether it's below market or at market, or maybe even a little above market, and say, hey, I will buy your property at this price in this specific time, and you got to give consideration. So, hey, I will buy your parcel of land in the Northwest Valley. I will execute this option in 5 years at $200,000, right? Maybe the property's worth $125 now, or excuse me, sorry, disregard that. It has to be a discount. Maybe it's worth $200 now, $175, but in 5 years you'll buy it $200, maybe with the expectation of it going up due to the path of progress and the things we're learning today. So that's an option contract. Look further in that. We have those here at AZREIA for you. Contract for deed. Basically, it's the same concept. You don't get to use the property, but it's like when you buy a car, right? You get a loan from the dealership. You don't get the title to your car yet, but you make payments. And once you do finish those payments, you then get, the title and you can use the property. So you can do the contract for deed option, right? Can be some of those. But however, subject to, you do take over the title and responsibility of the property. And same thing for seller carryback. You would own and you could use the property there. This might even make you think about land banking, right? Remember, all this is a risk at the end of the day, right? We're taking this public information, right? So you always hear if you had inside information in stocks, it's insider trading, it's illegal. But we get this information, it's public record, right? So if people are pulling permits and pulling plans, we can call the city, right? We could find out what's going on in our local areas and make our decisions and adapt. So it still is a risk because, right, sometimes these freeways might not get built or these developments might not get built, but you have the opportunity to be educated and informed. So you can use these tools to help you leverage the path of progress. So the word land banking. So I'm going to read a definition on that, right? Still risky, but think about land banking. So it's a strategy where real estate investors purchase undeveloped land in areas where they anticipate future growth. The goal is to bank the land, holding it long term until its value appreciates due to urban development, new infrastructure, increasing demand in the area. So that's what we're going to dive into today. So one last thing I'll share with you on what I love about the option contract, right? So we all heard of Walt Disney or Disney World, right? So there's a big story. I'm going to summarize it in brief about how he purchased the land in Florida using an option contract. So Walt Disney used the option contract to acquire the land for Disney World in Florida. Keeping his plan secret to avoid price hikes, he purchased the land through a series of option contracts, which gave him the right but not the obligation to buy parcels at a set price over time. So the story goes, I heard he had like a team in Kentucky of sales reps with these anonymous companies, and they were locking up properties with the option contract, thousands of parcels. So Disney created this strategy in Orlando, allowing him to gather, like I said, thousands of acres quietly, affordably, without revealing his true intentions. When word eventually leaked that Disney was behind the purchases, when actually leaked because he executed, he had all the parcels lined up with his option contracts, and like dominoes, he just executed them all. And then once everyone found out, prices skyrocketed. I forgot, it was like 80x, something crazy. You can Google it. But by then, he had already secured most of the land needed at a fraction of the cost. This approach not only saved him millions, but also made it possible for Disney World to expand into the massive park and resort it is today. So I want you to think about this story, think about these tools, and think about we're starting to talk about with the path of progress and how can you use this information in the resource here at the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association and participate. So let's jump into insight one, population growth as a driver in the path of progress. One of the most impactful elements Arizona's path of progress is the sheer volume of people moving here. Last year, we saw a net migration of roughly 80,000 people. That's thousands of individuals and families looking for housing, employment, and opportunities. So, for real estate investors, this creates an expanding demand that won't be going away anytime soon here. So like you said, we always hear there was like at one point it was like 200 people a day just from California or along those lines coming here. So a lot of population growth is a key driver in real estate investing. So with the influx of all these new residents, they're concentrated in certain regions like the West Valley. So you have seen the Loop 303, right? So west of the 101, there's a lot of land development going on. Developers like Fulton Homes are focusing their efforts in this corridor, which is a signal that they're in a growth phase. We're in that area. But what does this mean, right? So what does it mean? So Fulton Homes and all these other developers are out there building. You guys even see the storage facilities, the commercial buildings, and there's just so much going out there. So what it means is that as population density increases in these areas, so will the demand for housing, retail, and essential services. Single family homes, multifamily homes, commercial spaces are likely to see rising values in these regions. And in short term, we're seeing stability in property prices and rental rates, but the long-term outlook is that this area will become some of the most desirable in the state. Job growth continues to draw new residents in the West Valley. So to keep up on this trend, AZREIA offers regular market reports, market updates. As you know, we have Dan Doma come in from Easy Street. We have Tina Tambor from the Cromford Report. They all come in every month at our main meeting to kind of share these in-depth insights. So for my fix and flippers, when you're watching these updates, and my landlords, focus on buy and hold in these upcoming areas, secure properties now while values are still relatively low, and take advantage of the networking opportunities that we have, right? We have about 10 to 15 events a month. You can connect with these developers and these fix and flippers, these landlords, wholesalers, people finding these properties that are already active in these areas, right? So it's all about the people and getting in touch with everybody, even our online community, if you don't have as much time to get out to the events. So monthly meeting, second Monday of the month at Venue 8600. We do the Phoenix Real Estate Club on the fourth Tuesday. It's a nice discussion and market update as well. And like I said, we have our subgroups, the Fix and Flip group and with Bob Gomez, and we have the landlord group with Garrick. These are just active investors talking shop, sharing resources. Just get out and meet the people. So that's insight 1. So let's jump to insight 2. Job growth and its impact along the path of progress. Once again, this is another key indicator for it's important to real estate investors. So as Arizona's population grows, so does its market. So the path of progress here isn't just about where people live, it's about where they're working. Arizona is projected to add just over 100,000 new jobs by the first quarter of 2025. With growth concentrated in industries like healthcare, tech, and manufacturing. These aren't just numbers. These are lifelines to thriving real estate markets. So if you remember, if you were around, we had the big crash, right, in 2008. We are mainly a tourist town and construction, right? We had no other legs for the table to stand on, right? So we're a whole new climate here in Arizona. So let's take a little closer look. The arrival of TSMC's Semiconductor Plant in North Phoenix, for example, represents not only a boost in jobs, but also a shift in Arizona's economic landscape. With tech and manufacturing on the rise, these high-skilled jobs attract a workforce that demands housing, leading to increased demand for rentals, condos, single families, and all that. So if people are coming here to work, and they're working by the TSMC plant, they're going to need jobs and places to live. And things to do. And which reminds me, I saw in the news a Wall Street company bought thousands of acres at an auction just on the edge of the semiconductor plant. So not only has TSMC added a few $1 billion into growing than they originally planned, now there's going to be an entertainment district wrapped around. They haven't even broke ground yet, but this is all happening. This is all in the news. This is all public information we all have access to. So meanwhile, healthcare job growth is another factor to driving demand, especially as more Arizonans reach Medicare eligibility and seek to live near medical facilities. For investors, understanding these specific sectors can be the difference between simply owning property and strategically leveraging demand. Areas close to tech hubs, hospitals, healthcare centers are going to see sustained demand as professionals seek this type of housing. So where else are you seeing this? That's, share it with me. Drop it in the comments. Go into the community. Let me know. Right now, I've kind of been focusing on the West Valley. So, actually, you know what? I do have another thought there. So on the West Valley, think about this. So before I wrap up job growth, here at AZREIA, we sponsored an event at We Serve. So it's for real estate agents. It was a full day CE class. Got to meet a lot of wonderful people. And one of the panelists was Grant Fisher of Vi Resort. And so he talked about, the concept, how it all came to life. And if you don't know what Vi Resort is, check it out. It's going to be the entertainment district of Arizona. Hotel, pool. I think they have like a 5-acre pool there. They just have everything, right? So, and it's right across the street from State Farm Arena, where the Cardinals play. So he basically, in short, they're like, any parting words, Grant, for everyone in this room? He said, buy houses in the West Valley, right? His goal, that resort's goal, one of their goals is to be the entertainment of Arizona, right? Probably even the West Coast. This thing is big. It's huge. It's amazing. So you do want to check that out. So think about Westgate, the Cardinal Stadium, all the entertainment they've been building around it, casinos, the new freeways, the job, it's blowing up. And if someone that's investing billions of dollars of their money and investors' money into this project, I think I'd be pretty confident to buy a house over there, right? For us mom and pop investors, right? Buy a couple rentals using these tools I talked about in the beginning and so on. So leveraging AZREIA's insights on job market forecasts can help you decide where to invest, what property types may perform the best. Like, for example, we're talking about healthcare, right? Assisted living facilities, right? Maybe midterm rentals. Maybe we talk about pad split, right? There's all these creative things, because some of you might be saying, hey, things are still expensive, right? But there's other ways to change the use of these properties outside of traditional rentals to make them cash flow. But you got to get in here and you got to get the education. We highly recommend. I still have coaches, mentors. I still read. I still buy courses. I'm always learning. And every deal I'm a part of for the last 14 days until even the deal I'm working on now, I've always learned something. So come around, get the information. At our events and at our online educator program, our resident experts, we have resident experts in everything I just said that will be the professional teaching you these strategies. And also another cool thing that, like, I have a buddy, Ryan, who has a property in Mesa by a hospital, and he accidentally found out about the demand, right? So, and I only found this story out because he came to the meeting and we were chatting and networking. So he had a traditional rental and he had converted the garage into a casita, and he put it on Airbnb, and then it started booking up immediately. And what he came to find out after a few months, every single one of his bookings were for people getting surgery at the hospital a couple blocks away. Well, he had no intention of even being strategic with it. He just thought, hey, he just want to do Airbnb, right? So I think at that time when he told me this story, he's making $30,000 a year. He has a traditional tenant up front in the 3-2, and then he lets people that are getting surgery stay in that unit. And he accidentally found that out. But now you know what type of industries are here, and you can now, with the informed information, make strategic decisions to help your real estate business. So let's go to insight number 3 before we wrap up. Supply constraints and investment potential along the path of progress. Our final insight focuses on supply constraints, one of the more surprising factors in Arizona's path of progress. Despite the strong demand, Arizona is facing a slowdown in new construction. Building permits have dropped by 32%. This supply limitation affects investors in several ways. And even think about it, even after the crash, I think we built half of what we normally do in a decade. So now, because of these construction constraints, existing properties are becoming increasingly valuable as new homes can't keep up with demand. This particularly relevant along the path of progress is in areas like the West Valley, where high demand for housing is clashing with limited new inventory. For rental property owners, this means that rents are likely to stay strong, and for those looking to flip properties, the scarcity of new builds make well-renovated homes more attractive. Buyers who might typically go for new builds are turning to flips, as they're often move-in ready and available sooner, right? It could take you a year to 18 months or whatever it may be to build a new home. So for investors, both rentals and flips into high demand areas are seeing increased value as the supply of new property remains constrained. So here at AZREIA, once again, through our resources, you can monitor the supply constraints, the building permits, if they're going up and down. We have all that for you. Our market insights and our online community allow you to connect with contractors, other flippers, other landlords, get renovation tips, find out what neighborhoods are working, get to talk to the wholesalers and see what they're seeing. And like I said, just got to get the information. So for those with rental properties, our resources can help you understand how to adjust rents based on supply demand dynamics, and especially our business associates, right? Like, wealth is a team sport. You can't do this yourself, and you need professionals that provide real estate services, so that are experienced in real estate. Just because your friend is a real estate agent, that doesn't mean you buy an investment property with them, unless they got a smoking deal. But you want to work with a real estate agent that understands real estate investing. You want to work with an accountant that understands real estate investing. And our business associates all have been here more than 5 years. There are some new ones, but they've been vetted. Thousands of our members use these people and their services, and then we get feedback. So if they're not doing what's right for our members, they're out of here. So if they're on our website, they're doing well. So tap in with AZ Residential, for example, our property management business associate. They have hundreds of houses that they oversee. They see the trends. They're all over the valley. They give updates to our members. You can go to their booth at the monthly meeting and ask them. You could pick up the phone and call Barbara. She will not care. Well, I don't want to say that, but call her and ask her questions. She is super helpful. So we have those resources. Same thing with the flippers, especially when you go to the fix and flip subgroup. Man, Bob has like 40, 50, 60 flippers in there. There's contractors, hard money lenders, and they're just all talking shop. He does a little mini market update. He gives away some free gifts. He has fun. Des does a cool little market update on the rates and the lending. Check it out, right? So you're missing out if you're not going. So that's what I have today for the path of progress. So thank you for tuning in to the AZREIA Show. This is a powerful concept, and as Arizona continues to grow, understanding these trends will only become more critical for real estate investors. Remember, AZREIA is here to support you, from data to reports to networking to education to expert discussions. Stay connected, stay informed, and most importantly, stay invested in Arizona's exciting future. Until next time, go to AZREIA.org/join, become a member, take advantage of all the resources we have for you. Or if you're unsure yet, you want to get to a meeting, go to AZREIA.org/calendar. Come check us out, come to a subgroup, come to the monthly meeting. So there, I had to get that in. So until next time, smart investing, go out there and get it.
Thanks for listening to the AZREIA Show with your hosts, Marcus Maloney and Mike Del Prete. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you found this information valuable, head over to AZREIA.org and learn more about our community.